Thanks for joining me today for another tidbit of timely truth. Terry Engler here, just to give you some words of encouragement and hope. Now, election 2024 is over. I'm already having withdrawals from no more TV ads, and especially from the drastic decrease of those unending text messages that I've been getting since seems like 2020. But today I want to just share with you some thoughts that have come to my mind regarding the election cycle that we've just gone through. It's been reported that nearly $16 billion was spent by the two major parties during the campaign. Now that means that each person in the United States could have received a small gift of $46.23. That's the figures as of November 5th, the election day. And obviously, I'm not advocating that that's what should have been done with the nearly $16 billion that was spent to get elected, but there's something that really annoys me about the whole process. Because that's a lot of money, even though the prize was gaining the most powerful office on planet Earth. So what do I do with this itch of mine that cannot be scratched? Well, nothing more than making just a few suggestions. First of all, rather than spending that amount of money, how about trying to get elected just by virtue of being kind? And then whoever has the most appeal gets the most votes. I mean, that type of kindness could be demonstrated in the form of no lying about the other candidate, no name calling, no criticisms, and no attempts to try to manipulate the process. Or how about a candidate's character being the measuring stick of being fit to hold that office, as well as the many other offices that were on the ballot this year? Maybe put out the other candidate's actual track record or experience, their qualifications or creative policy ideas that might appeal to the electorate, rather than money being spent personally attacking and smearing one another's character or even playing the political party card. Now, I realize that there are probably some of you watching this who may have made your selection of candidates based on some of those kindness qualifications that I listed. And if so, I commend you for that. But my concern, however, is the choices that have been made as the result of using the wrong criteria for qualifying candidates who will sit in those offices of supreme importance to our nation and to our world. I'm relatively certain that Jefferson, Lincoln, or other prior presidents weren't chosen as a result of media overload that they purchased. So what then can we push forward as changing the system of campaigning for office? Well, I think it has to start with each of us, even those of us who aren't running for any kind of office. Each of us just being kind to one another, even though there isn't a position of power to be gained. We shouldn't allow differing of opinions to separate us, but rather as just a simple means of sharing valuable information to consider regarding those running for office. You see, I'm just very concerned about the number of relationships in families, in churches, even in the workplace, that have ended due to differences of opinions and preferences in this election that we just finished. I mean, let's be honest. Our media has stoked the fire of those differences, utilizing the rhetoric and smearing of a candidate's character. And that was media that was purchased by that $16 billion that could have been used much more productively in other areas. Now, that's my opinion. But as I close this, let me just say this. Don't let my opinion, that quite likely may be different than yours, don't let that separate us as fellow citizens of the United States of America. Don't let that separate us as friends. See you next time.